Om 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 Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Boliye Shri Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Hari Om. Good evening. For today's talk on Commit to Win and Will You Will. Together we can, together we must, together we will. So the topic for today is Conserving Energy. We have our own stock of energy and we have tools and means by which we can replenish energy. But today we are going to talk about how to conserve the energy that we have, in what all ways energy gets depleted, and what we can do to conserve that energy. Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmaya ji says, the secret to high levels of energy is to have a very high goal. When we have a very high goal, there are three different types of people in this world, three different types of workers. There are the ordinary workers who work for daily wages. They get the money, they are very happy because their stomach is full, the family's stomach is taken care of, and then on a day-to-day basis, they are looking forward to the money earned to fill their stomach and have a very comfortable life. So even if such a person is the prime minister of a country also, if their goal for doing work is only earning daily wages, is only earning money, then they come categorized under the category of a laborer. There is another category of people, they are called workers. They have some big goal, like I want to transform society, I want to create tidiness and cleanliness in society, I want to rid the society of this problem or that problem. And then they work very hard, they gather a lot of forces, they mobilize forces and resources, and they put their heart and soul into the work. But as a result of the work, what is it that they expect is, they expect that people will come with praise for what they do, even if it is not in terms of money. They like the attention that the work gets for them. So these are the categories of people who are called workers. First the laborer, then there's the worker. Then the highest category of people are called achievers. Achievers are people who have a very high goal in life. And say Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda and Swami Adi Shankaracharya, then Mahatma Gandhi. There are many, many great people in this world who get categorized under the title of achievers. They have a very high goal. Something has to be done in society, something has to be done for the people, and so they do it. They don't do it because of doing it, they get fame and name. Because of doing it, they get so much of money. They just do it because that work has to be done and it will be done well. And those are the category of people called achievers. So when we are working as a laborer or a worker, our energy is only that much. When I want to earn so much of money, only that much of energy will rise in me, and that will help me to earn that money. And once that goal is fulfilled, then the energy gets depleted. It is not increasing. Then the worker also, that much of whatever work he wants to do and whatever achievement he wants to do, that much of fame he wants, that much of energy will come, and it'll deplete in the long run, and there'll be a lot of frustration because everybody is not going to appreciate the work that we do. Everybody is not going to praise us for what we do. We will face a lot of obstacles, and when obstacles come, we shy out of the race because it is too much, because we are not really working for the ultimate cause. And so a small obstacle can always put us off the path and put us back into a life of comfort and relaxation, because anyway people don't really respect you for whatever work that you do. So why work at all will be the attitude. But the third category of people, achievers, they have tremendous energy. You see, any great leader, any great master, their working style will be they will have only 4 hours of sleep. They can work for 20 hours a day. How is it possible? Because the tremendous amount of the highest the goal they have, they get a tremendous column of energy. Gurudev says a column of energy rises into you when your goal is very high. You can take the example of an umbrella. When we are holding an umbrella in shade, when we hold it very close to our head, the shadow of that umbrella just falls on our body. But when you hold the umbrella a little higher, the shadow is a little bit. But when the umbrella is held a little bit high, there's a big cone of shadow that falls around us. So, in the same way, when our goal is very high in life, definitely a big column of energy surrounds us for what we need to do. So, okay, we can have a high goal. Like when I study as a student, how to increase my goal in life? When I study as a student, instead of saying I'm studying for my chartered accountancy exam, you can always think and say that I'm preparing myself to audit the accounts of my country so that, the accounts are very well managed and very well maintained in my country. I'm doing it for my people. The person can be studying business administration and management. He can be going to run a business for his own family and he's earning his money. But still, instead of focusing on just the money, he can say, I am doing this business so that people get a fair deal for the money that they pay, and people are serviced very well. And if it can be a journalist also, instead of thinking about how I can be a journalist and make a lot of money or get a lot of name and fame with all my bylines and columns, I can think of myself as going to be a journalist who is going to work par excellence in serving people, serving the cause of people, bettering the lives of people, the welfare of people. When I think of all that, then I'm going to I'm going to think about how I can serve rather than how I can earn money out of that. So journalism, in any category that we take up, the thought in our mind can always be service. And when we think about service, our goal becomes very high, and the column of energy that we get is also very high. So once we get this column of energy, how to utilize that is very important. How not to waste that energy. We are definitely, when our goal is high, we are going to get a tremendous amount of energy. It's going to pour down in us. So, how do we, what are the areas in which, what are the ways in which this energy can get depleted? There are three ways, according to the Bhagavad Gita, and even Gurudev Swami Chinmaya explains very beautifully. There are three ways by which we can just lose this energy. The main common way by which we lose our energy is by talking too much, by using our sense organs too much, by going behind pleasures. Whenever we have to enjoy something, we have to put a tremendous amount of energy outside to go behind the things that we want, to get the things that we want, and once we get it, to enjoy those things also. The research shows that when we just open our eyes and see around and take in all the forms around, we are expending tremendous amounts of energy. In the same way, when we keep our ears tuned to what is happening around, and especially when we have to listen to a lot of gossip, we are very interested in something that is a very tiny topic that is going on somewhere. We want to hear. So lots of our energy is going out through our sense organs naturally and normally. When we use our hands too much, when we move our hands all the time, it gets very tiresome even to see somebody not keeping their hands in control while talking. When they're raising it up and down and moving it here and there without any consciousness, then a lot of energy is just to move from this place to this place, energy is used. So when we are without mindlessly, when we are using our hands, a lot of energy is wasted. In the same way, you would have seen people talking on the mobile phone. They cannot sit in one place, sit quietly and talk. They have to go up and down. So even simply walking here and there without any purpose, energy will leave through our legs. And then again, not to say of talking. When we're going on talking throughout the day, we are expending tremendous amounts of energy. So Adi Shankaracharya ji says, Yogasya prathamam dwaram maunam. When I want to practice yoga, which means I want to unite my thought, feeling, and body, integrate all the three, I'm a practitioner of yoga. So to be successful in yoga, I have to practice mauna. I have to be very quiet. So energy is being expended by through our sense organs. So when we control our sense organs through the practice of Dhamma, meaning controlling our sight, not simply looking here and there without any purpose, but looking at with focus at whatever we want to do. The practices for sense control we can see in some session later on, like the control of the eyes, the control of the nose and the tongue and all those things. So that is one thing, controlling the sense organs directly so that we conserve energy. In our from our mental aspect, even the body, the energy does not leave the body because of hard work. Even when we do a lot of hard work, the body can get tired. But with a half an hour of rest, we can get rejuvenated back. But the tiredness is happening because of the way we think with our minds. So Gurudev says, Swami Chinmaya ji says, three ways by which we expend energy through our mind is anxieties about the future, worries about the past, and excitement in the present moment. So suppose we say a student is studying for his exam. So what is the anxiety about the future that can drain his energy in the present moment? He is just opening his books to study and he has to go through all the portions and complete them thoroughly. But instead of that, he is thinking, what is the question that's going to come in the exam? Has the teacher said this question in the question paper? You know, whether I would have left something out of portion. I want to leave something out of portion. And so, is a question going to come in that? So, his time, his precious hour of 1 hour of study time, maybe 10 minutes is wasted in thinking about what are the questions that are going to come in the exam and how I am going to handle those questions. What will I do if I don't know the answers? So that is one category of people who constantly think about the future and they waste their time. Also, they even negatively think, what if somebody dies and they announce a holiday so that we won't have the exam? Or what if something happens so that I don't need to write the exam? So many things that bring a lot of difficulty for them in their life. So anxiety about the future. Another thing is worry about the past. So whenever the basically thought expends our energy, and especially when the thought patterns are very negative, they are very strong and they are very repetitive, these thought patterns. If you are not aware of these thought patterns, they go again and again, they come and trouble us, and lot of energy is wasted because of that. And when the mind gets tired, the body has got no energy to work or study or do anything. So the past, no, last year when I appeared for this exam, or these questions were asked, and I remember my seniors struggling over this. And last year also in my exams, I did very badly. So I don't think this time I'm going to do well. Already because based on the past, we come to certain conclusions about how we are going to write our exam in the future. When our work is actually only to sit and study, to focus on study for that 1 hour of time. So 10 minutes is gone in worrying about the future, and now maybe 15 or 20 minutes has gone thinking about the past. Last year, which exam I did not do well, or last year, what I did very well, and what somebody told me. They said, congratulations. This year, I don't know if it is going to happen. Because last year, those circumstances were like that I was able to do the exam well. So these kinds of thoughts we enter into and waste some more time. So maybe if we say 20 minutes about the past and then 10 minutes about the future, already 30 minutes are gone out of 1 hour. And then the remaining 30 minutes is there. We start studying. We just read from the subject, or we just start with working on the math problem. And suddenly we see that we did not listen properly in the class, and so we are not able to work out the problem probably. And then we get very tense because there's already a lot of time has elapsed when we start thinking about the future and the past, and the remaining time is there. And in the remaining time, I suddenly get tense about how I'm going to manage this, because at this moment I'm not able to solve this problem, or at this moment I'm not able to understand this equation, at this moment I'm not able to understand this poem, or I'm not able to understand this logic that is presented in this science textbook, or whatever it is. So, and in this moment we are agitated. So when we don't, basically the mind that gets agitated is the mind that can get disturb us. The that can get agitated is the mind that cannot focus on something. So if I need to focus on something, I should allow my mind to be calm. How can I allow my mind to be calm while doing work? By not focusing on the future. And the mind also doesn't understand one thing. When you say don't, the mind does not register that word at all. When I say don't focus on the future, the mind will think about the future. So let me try to tell you this. For the next 5 minutes, don't focus on monkey. The thought monkey should not come in your head. It's a big joke because the moment I say monkey, the thought of monkey jumping from tree to tree, the monkey eating from a fruit, the monkey taking lice from the female monkey's head, all these pictures will come to our mind, or our last experience with monkey, everything will come, because the mind does not understand the word don't. So instead of saying don't think about the future, don't think about the past, in the present moment, don't be agitated. The mind is not going to understand one thing from this. So tell yourself, instead of saying don't think about the future, you can tell yourself focus on the present moment. Don't think about the past, don't think about the future. Both are included in focus on the present moment. And if you tell yourself, don't be agitated in the present moment, the mind is immediately going to get agitated. That word agitation, the mind likes very much. The moment you say the word agitation, the mind just starts boiling into agitation. So in the present moment, instead of saying don't get agitated, be calm and focused in the present moment. Tell yourself, be calm and focused in what you study right now, what I am studying right now. Let me be calm and focused in what I study. It can be mathematics, or it can be language, it can be English, it can be science, or anything. Don't worry about how big the lesson is. Just that one paragraph, that one line that you study, you try to understand it, write it, reproduce it, recall it, go step by step, and then you will see that by the end of the year, everything that you have gone through with so much of awareness in the present moment, when you put your concentration and when you put your awareness, you are building up on your the ability to remember. Even if you did not revise a subject before your exam, on a day-to-day basis, if you're putting your awareness and concentrating on that subject, you can just breeze through the whole process of studying, and when you will be so relaxed in the exam, because you will never get tense any moment. There is no stress, there is no tension. So you train yourself to be completely focused in the present moment, and this training is not done in one day. The mind is like your puppy dog. The dog, initially when you put the dog on the leash and take it on the road, the dog will run here and there, it will pull you along. People will wonder whether you are taking the dog for a walk or the dog is taking you for a walk, whether you are taking the dog for a ride or the dog is taking you for a ride. So it's very difficult. So in the same way, you train the mind to be focused on a day-to-day basis. So you have to train the dog on a day-to-day basis. Whatever methods you need to train the dog, don't go here, don't go there, do this, do that. Otherwise, the dog can do all crazy things in your house that can make you tear your hair out. In the same way, the mind, which is nothing but thoughts, can just drag your attention in a way, in any which way it pleases. So it requires constant attention to bring the mind back and put it in focus. So Puji Swami Swarupananda Ji, the global head of Chinmaya mission, in his book Strong to Perform, has given us in essence some 6 points on how to bring the mind to focus. He says, first, check self-cancellation of thoughts with consistency and perseverance. The mind is nothing but two faculties of the mind are sankalpa and vikalpa. The mind says, I will do this. The next moment there's another thought, no, I will do this, I will do that. The next thought. When the I will do this thought, I will study mathematics thought is very weak. I am going to just relax. That thought will come and overpower this I will study mathematics thought. So when we check the self-cancellation of thoughts, we will be constantly with consistency. Every day focus on this. When I apply my mind to study, I am going to sit and study. I have to be very clear and focused on that. And then with consistency and perseverance, when I do that, the mind gains control and focus. Then foster good and noble qualities to combat negativity of the mind. There are many negative qualities in the mind. Thinking about the future, anxiety about the future, worrying about the past, agitation in the present moment, uncontrolled desires, anger, hatred, jealousy, fear, then arrogance, what else? Confusion. These are all many negative qualities of the mind. They have many children. The family is only some 4 or 5 in this negativity, but the children are numerous. And so, to offset the negative qualities, we cannot pull them out because nature does not like a vacuum anywhere. When you remove a negative quality, I am not going to have this quality of anger. We can never say, because when you remove anger, the mind is going to be vacant. Jealousy will come and sit there. If you remove jealousy, hatred will come and sit there. Only fools rush in where angels fear to tread. Good qualities will not come so easily, but all negative qualities will rush in. And so, what we have to do is, it is not enough if we remove one quality. We have to remove a quality by replacing it with another quality. In Patanjali Yoga Sutra, there is a sutra which says, Vitarka Badhane Pratipaksha Bhavanam. Whenever I'm not able to practice the good qualities of ahimsa, or there is non-violence in thought, word, and deed, I'm not able to practice speaking the truth, I'm not able to practice not taking other people's things, property, time, or resources, or name, or credit. I'm not taking all that, or I'm not able to control my senses. Whenever those qualities are very difficult, we should practice pratipaksha bhavanam. Suppose I am talking too much, I should force myself to stop and then quieten the speech. That way, we can foster good qualities in our mind. The third thing is, forgive yourself for your past actions. It is very important. How to not worry about the past. It is not enough if I say I will focus on the present moment. The mind is not used to that. So, I should forgive myself, forgive others. If somebody else has done something wrong to me, forgiveness, just say, okay, let it go. That person has done this to me. I'm ready to forgive that person. For whose sake? For my own sake. Buddha says, anger is a poison that is aimed at somebody, but it hurts the person who's sending that first. It is like a weapon that is aimed at somebody, but before going and hitting that person, it destroys the sender first, and then only goes and attacks the recipient of that. So forgive yourself and forgive others for what happened in the past. And when you forgive means give for. Give for whom? Give for your own self. I want to be free. When the house is completely cluttered, what do? You just remove all unwanted things and you give it away, you dispose it, you throw it off, you clear the space. And once you clear the space, you feel very happy and very content because everything is neat and clean and sparkling, bright and tidy. And who's going to benefit by that? You're going to benefit by that because it is that surrounding which is going to impact your mind. So, in the same way, when you remove all those negative thoughts from you, then you are focusing on the present moment by giving up all that is torturing you from the past. So then dedicate your efforts to do good actions in the right way. So as Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmaya ji has said, we should have a high goal. And what is the highest goal that anybody can have are the 4 Purusharthas in life. which is dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. They may sound very archaic, but in the modern world, when we are really looking for a goal in life, when we are finishing our standard 12, we are actually pursuing, we are just think that is the time we think about what is it we want to do in life. So our Vedic lifestyle shows us these four goals. What is dharma? Dharma is I should discharge my duties. On a day-to-day basis, I should follow all these four. If depending on the goal that I want to achieve. If liberation is my goal, then dharma alone is enough. In between, artha and kama are not required. But if I want to live a very happy life in this world, I want to study well, I want to get good marks, I want to pass the exams, I want to join a nice job and work, I want to earn a lot of money, I want to live in a happy family, and all those things, I want to be healthy. If these are all the goals that I have, then I should have all the four in my life. Dharma means to do my duty on a day to day basis, focus on what are my duties, what I must do, and then do them. Dharma. Next is artha. Seek wealth, seek knowledge. I should improve myself constantly in whatever subject I'm studying. Focus on what are the new ways by which I can get the knowledge in my textbooks. If I just focus on the textbooks, it may get tired and boring. But I can take up books from the shop, I can see, or from the libraries. I can go and take notes on similar books that are there that are talking about the subjects that I'm studying and different authors. Now we have the internet. The whole university is available on the internet. We have great international speakers and international thoughts on the topics that we are planning to study. So, spending some time by collecting data, artha. Third is kama, the right desire. I should have the right desire to get good marks and to pass in flying colors. I should pursue those desires. Like our ancient wisdom does not say that you live without desires. You be very happy, you have the desire, focus on the desire, apply it and succeed in life is what they're saying. Dharma, artha, kama. And then finally, moksha. We always join school only to complete school and pass. Nobody joins school to go on complete 12th standard and then come to LKG and study. We don't do that. We want to graduate, we want to pass, and we want to move higher and higher. That is what moksha is all about. Moksha means liberation from one stage of living, from one particular lifestyle, and moving on to the more higher lifestyle. Not exactly in terms of material wealth and prosperity, that is also important, but at a spiritual level in cultivating our qualities. So, dharma, artha, kama, and moksha, they will give us guidance on our goal in life. Train the mind to concentrate the mind with meditation. So, practicing meditation, we will see that in one of these sessions how to practice meditation, what are the different types of meditation we can practice, and what are the results of meditation, how the mind becomes focused. And when we meditate, meaning in simple words, when I just become quiet, I going to happen in the future. I'm not worried about what is happening in the past. In the present moment, my mind comes here and now. In this moment, I just observe the sensations in my body. I observe the pattern of breathing of my breath. I observe what are all the different thoughts that I get. When I start observing all these, my mind becomes automatically quiet. And I spend the next 20 or 30 minutes in the same observation. The mind becomes quiet and focused and in a state of meditation. In a meditative mind, I will be concentrating on my work better. Keep your attention on the task at hand. Even when the mind likes to be distracted, the self-canceling thoughts in the mind, you sit down to study and then you pull out your mobile phone to check out a WhatsApp or a YouTube, then the mind gets distracted and the time is wasted. Instead of all that, be aware that the mind can cancel its own thoughts. Sankalpa vikalpa is constant. If there is one thought, the next thought is self-canceling. One thought rises like a wave. For every wave that rises, there is always a trough. The trough is the depressed part of the wave. The wave is the heightened part of the wave. Whenever there is a good thought, then there is always a different thought, which is the opposite thought, that is the vikalpa. So see to it that your mind does not cancel itself with self-canceling thoughts. And in the next week, we are going to see 3 verses from the Bhagavad Gita, which are going to help us to concentrate and focus our mind on how to do work. Very, very important verses from the Bhagavad Gita on the essence of action. So, with this, I wish you all the best in all your efforts to study well, to focus well, and to gain knowledge, and to be able to write your examinations well. We end with this, and then we can meet again, same time next week. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. बोलिए श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय।